Hey, friends of the show. It's us, your favorites. I hope. I don't fucking know. I'm not my favorite. We're back and we're playing Lancer again, finally. Because I finally got enough sleep. I'm done dying. For now. I mean, I'm never done. Nobody's ever done dying. We're all dying. But my point is, I've rested enough to where we can go back to playing Lancer again. So, it's time to do the downtime mission, but before we can do the downtime mission, we got a little bit of closing stuff we need to do from the last mission. So go ahead, Fefner.
I think first, I don't remember what we did last time
Oh well, I guess
at
we should.
all.
I guess we should do. I guess we should do. Somebody do a recap. I think probably Fefner should be the one to do the recap because
All
she'll
right, yeah, I'll
probably
do it.
yeah she remembers it the best. Thank you.
Yep.
Please
So,
recap.
last mission you had, you were still on the same planet because Boundless came in, and while they were clearing the airspace, General Argento had a mission for you, and it was basically stop these rowdy fuckers on this battlefield who are not part of either side of this equation, not part of the Common Front or the Separatists. And as it turns out, it's a bunch of people fighting the Separatists, and they were just trying to, I guess, chant Vadim into existence, much like Team Rocket to Giovanni in Pokemon Gold. Uh, and you held out and managed to destroy pretty much all of their mechs. However, they were kind of successful because Vadim arrived on the battlefield. And he basically took most of the remaining members and just continued doing as he will because they're not fighting the common front, so it's not a violation of the NAP. Oh, important thing, Vadim, of course, is now more or less the general of Deliverance. He
Mm-hmm.
is a guy.
Don't
The
like that.
the main one of the main generals of Deliverance, as you all know, was killed in battle. Avelius. So his position has been filled by former governor, former general, now general again, Vadim Riesling.
And the one other worthy thing of note is Isadora just snatched one of the guys out of their mechs, and now you have a prisoner. It is Quirk, the guy with the Ronin mech, who probably did the most damage in the last fight.
Yeah, I wouldn't just get dump him with whatever the leadership on this planet is. Really give a shit. It's not a problem.
Well, do you want to ask him any questions, like get any answers, or no?
I mean, we kind of already know what they're
Actually,
doing.
yeah.
Like, I guess. Like,
I mean, we know what they're doing, but there's no harm in getting confirmation on something we already know. And if we do get it, and we kind of went through the effort of capturing him. If we're gonna do capture this guy, I feel like we should at least poke him for questions and see if he knows anything we did pick up last time. For instance, when did Vadim get officially promoted? And what and exactly what's the angle there? Because he wasn't previously the general of all of Deliverance, apparently.
yeah, Silva, you want to do good cop, bad cop? I'll be the good cop because like that seems.
So yeah, you're just dragging him
Uh,
up next, and you start asking questions.
Clarify, I don't like cops, but yes, I will threaten to punch him if he doesn't talk.
Well, yes, we're all
Yeah,
in
we're
the
out
like
of character.
here, but it's a useful trope in this situation.
I know. I was making a very cheap joke. I'm sorry.
Hi, everybody. Fuck 12. Do resume.
All right. So,
Before we continue, Mocha just
I'd
added
like
a very
to-
good joke. Bren, I'll be the
So
good cop, vanishes out of existence.
Where did Loka make this
I'll be
joke?
the
Discord.
Okay.
all right. So Sylvia, having made her her signs and her protest flags and preparing to be pepper sprayed by Bryn during their good cop bad cop act, I think the two of us bring him to We don't want to leave the planet with him because taking him
No.
back to the Flavor Town is probably a bad idea.
Yeah, I don't
But
want to be responsible to this guy.
we basically,
Fuck that.
yeah, we basically take this guy to a secluded enough area that we can control, set a couple of people to keep watch, set him up on a chair or a rock or something, and Sylvia just sits down and starts idly cleaning her trench axe, which is just like the little pilot melee weapon she carries with her.
Yep.
She's just polishing it, just rubbing along it with an oilcloth, you know. It's a sandy planet. She's making sure there's no grit on it. Just having a very normal one. And she lets Bryn say the first thing.
So, friend, general reasoning, huh? How about that?
Indeed. Should be quite interesting.
I mean, I guess if what things do is math, death, and destruction.
It's been
Do
a
you-
while since we've had Battlefield so chaotic, yeah.
Are you a fan of war crimes? Do you want war crimes? Because this is how you get war crimes.
That's how you get
Which
war.
one was the bad cop again?
I don't really care about the methods of the higher up. I'm just here to fight.
Yeah, I think like this dude would be like, "That's how you get results." this asshole.
I think you should be a little more discerning in who you put your faith behind, friend.
I don't know. Back when he was commanding our forces beforehand, did a fairly good job.
What makes you think he's going to be good enough to take on the whole Common Front? I somehow doubt he's planning to stop with whatever's going on with this separatist movement.
Maybe.
After all, the Common Front would be a loose end, wouldn't it?
Oh, probably. I can't say I have as much disdain for the Common Front as some of the others in my squad, but I wouldn't necessarily care about fighting them either.
I didn't ask if you cared. I asked if you thought Vadim could take them.
Oh, yes.
What makes you so confident?
I
I don't
mean,
care how good of a general he is. You're talking about taking on one of the 3 biggest groups of armed people in all of known space.
yes, on the side of the only other one that counts, so probably has pretty good odds.
Really? Did anyone ever teach you about the Roman Empire in school?
We were just talking. I was just talking with my IRL wife about how Caesar's Legion would be doomed even if it did succeed. So, on the subject of this,
Less than. Actually, you're right, though. That is mildly out of character for Sylvia. She grew up in the Long Rim.
yeah.
She is going to. Let me amend that. Thank you for catching me.
Mm-hmm.
So she, instead of that, she's just going to go, that's a lot of supply and logistics that you think you've got figured out.
Oh, I
Planetary conflicts. Is Deliverance dropping a capital chip on one of these places?
That probably wouldn't be as interesting. Yeah, probably effective if literal, but whatever.
So
What?
I, Jeff, the person, do not know the tactic in this. I'm going to use my downtime roll on this. I have no other plans.
Okay, go ahead.
So I am going to roll. We're going to do gather information.
Okay.
I'm going to use empathy, and I'm going to use my military background for the accuracy on it.
Cool.
I think it's appropriate.
Sounds good.
See what we get.
18 plus 6 plus 6, yeah, that's pretty good.
What is the tack that Bryn realizes he needs to take to get information out of this guy? What does this guy want that Bryn catches on?
Here's the thing: he is being like very honest because he legitimately doesn't care. Like, you can tell he is not a higher up. He's talking about soldier things. He is very single-minded about fighting, we'll say.
So he's a fucking mother-based soldier, basically.
Yeah.
Oh God. Well, then what I got from next? I don't know the quest to ask here. Like what if base that we care about would we get out of this guy with that?
I
fucking
guess
role?
like if we could figure out what like any plans, like where are they planning to attack next? I think for Quinn that would be the most important information to get to Spava. Is where are they gonna focus their assault next?
Yeah, probably that, and also like, does he know what kind of munitions they're bringing to bear? Because like he might not care, but he also might know something in the neighborhood of like, oh yeah, we're definitely dropping like a legion or whatever on X,
Yeah, and like
a couple lances of X on
I
X
think like
world.
the way to get him to give us this information would be to make it like, oh, we're gonna make it a good fight for you, right? Like activate his fight horniness. Like tell him, oh, if you tell us where they're going, we will come and make that a real juicy fight for you, right?
That assumes he's an actual fight slut.
Oh, he's an
He is.
absolutely huge fight slut.
Oh,
How can you not know your own kind? Quinn, by the way, Quinn is not
Right.
Quinn is
There
not
was a
here
difference
helping.
between a
No,
confident
she's not.
soldier who
Bryn,
believes that he's just
so
effortlessly winning and a fight slut. Let's
yeah,
be clear.
Bryn reads this and he feels a little dirty, but he like leans into it
Mm-hmm.
because
I think first thing I actually would need to ask Jenner,
Mm-hmm.
what would someone like this know? Because he's not been officially a part of Deliverance's army yet, but like there's a good chance he has researched into this space. So he might not know specific plans, but I think he'd know sort of their deal better than what anybody in the Hex Girls would.
Like my thought for this kind of guy, and again, you run with me here, is he's trying to angle himself into the martyrs, right? So that he can start doing some real war crimes. So somebody who's trying to ingratiate themselves to the right kind of people to get themselves into the martyrs knows knows more about the special atrocity things that Deliverance is doing, the really juicy stuff. So he'll be able to tell them about the Death's Scythe that he actually knows about. Now, what the Death Scythe actually is and what it can do has been a little exaggerated to the martyrs just to get them, like, horny. But it's not so exaggerated like it kind of could do this. Just not as quickly as they're claiming it could. So what the Death
He might not necessarily be aiming for the martyrs, but this definitely seems like something he would have looked into.
Yeah, absolutely. Right? Like if he doesn't want to be a martyr, he's definitely a martyr fanboy, right? So he knows about the Death Scythe's plans, and so he knows where Deliverance is going to be making its first sojourn with the Death Scythe. So Death Scythe is the ship that is basically the same as the Shepherd's Crook, but with a bigger weapon on it that is being constructed on Dinhark. That is talked about in the pilot log that none of you listened to. The Death Scythe has a weapon created on it that is powered by Ebrium. And what the weapon does is it burns off the atmosphere of a planet and just lets the sun of that system burn that planet's life off. Kind of like the beginning of Homeworld. What happened to the planet at the beginning of Homeworld. So this weapon will burn the atmosphere off of a planet and just let the sun do the work for it. And
well, once the atmosphere is gone, like that doesn't matter because there's no air.
Yeah, but it's fun to watch, right? And also like it takes time, but for them, like it's like it'll be like what this dude has been told is it will be basically instantaneous, and what this dude knows is that the plan is to test it on Nim, the planet that they actually lost to, that hurt them in the dicks and made their egos all bruised, to just light Nim up, to kill all the Nimish.
That kind of strategy's a little quick and dirty for my taste, but apparently Deliverance isn't really fighting Nim anymore, so not really one of my concerns.
Yeah.
Sylvia looks to Bryn and just goes, we need to get that thing. We need to tell Rhea, and we need to make sure that someone's on their way to stop that.
Yeah, the Death Scythe isn't done yet. this guy heard they hadn't quite gotten enough ebrium yet, which they're mining off of Dinhark, which is just lousy with ebrium, by the way, to power the weapon. But once they get enough ebrium in that fucker, it's over. Additionally, like, this dude knows that Deliverance's plan is to just keep pushing buttons and play the I'm not touching you game, and like bully Common Front fringe planets until they splinter away in civil war, and then just swoop in and claim them for themselves, and drag those people into Deliverance to grow their army to keep spreading.
Okay. That all sucks. All that sucks. Everything about that sucks. We turn this guy over to the local authorities. I don't give a shit about him anymore. We got what we needed.
Yeah.
Just leave.
And for him,
Alright.
like, for him, he's
Before we turn him in, I do have one thing I want to do in character.
Yeah, go
Alright.
nuts.
Sylvia just elbow strikes him and knocks him the fuck out. And she just turns to Brandon and goes like, frankly, if we turn him over to the local authorities, there's not much they can do. He's supposed to be allied to the Common Front right now, in theory. I say we just leave him here, and if they care about him, they'll come back for him.
You know what? I don't care about this guy. I don't blame you for that. Let's leave.
Mm-hmm. Like-
I mean, we're supposed to talk to the general, so we might as well just hand him over there.
Yeah, it's
fine.
handed to
Well, I mean,
Argento.
he was shooting citizens on this planet. They were separatists, but there are still people who live on this planet, so like they got him for that. So like,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
it's not a
And-
problem.
Like, my understanding how Fefner's portraying this guy was way hornier for attacking the Common Front Civil War planets and, like, doing all sorts of horrible warfare over there. So, yeah, hand him over to Argento, and Argento will know how to deal with people of this temperament.
Bryn
So, yeah,
knows what they're probably gonna do. He does not care about this guy whatsoever.
Yeah, so you bring him in, you explain the situation, and Argento's just like, well, I was hoping it wouldn't come to this, but from the sounds of it, Vadim's promotion was already in the works.
Mm-hmm.
Which lines up with what we've heard, but not much good we can do now. He's in an untouchable spot, as is the rest of his group.
Yeah,
At the
wow.
very- At the very least, we've got the airspace clear, so you're free to take off whenever you're able.
Would his spot be less clear if we could provide direct evidence that Deliverance is planning to total biome kill a planet?
Well, it would certainly be something to bring up. I'm sure Deliverance will call it hearsay or whatever.
I didn't say evidence as in what we have. I meant we could provide direct evidence of this ship's existence and capability.
That would be handy, for certain.
Yeah. I mean, like, Rhea and, like, a handful of people know that this ship is being built. When the Aegon guy did the tour, he saw the ship being built. Velius was the one who manned that tour, and as Argento knows, Velius is still alive and living with Lionel and being gay for him. So they do know the status of the Death Scythe. But what Lionel has found is every time he tries to get the truth out, it just gets deleted off the internet, just wiped off of it. It's like an AI has been programmed to wipe this data off the net.
We don't take it from the net.
Mm-hmm. So this is something that's going to be needed to spread via word of mouth, almost like through some sort of weird psionic technology that some weird 16-year-old girl made.
Well, even then, like, we need actual material evidence.
Yeah,
Like,
and
We
you're
would
gonna
need blueprints or schemata of some kind if we could get them.
like Velius I'll see what I can do as Velius as an NPC to see if he can get his hands on that for you.
No, I feel like this is a thing that an independent group would have to get.
Mm-hmm. We may have to
Because-
do a heist, y'all.
I get the feel. I am actually down for this.
Yeah.
I now have reserve about this specific thing that we can use in the future. So
Yep.
That was my downtime action.
Boundless is a little too high profile to get that directly, but rest assured we'll be doing as much as we can to get Deliverance declawed.
Yeah, well,
If
just
we could-
watch out for Reason because he's terrible.
He's the,
He loves war crimes.
yeah. Quinn
I know.
Quinn
Yeah.
Quinn has been sitting there trying to convince General Ulysses to play Pokemon with her, but he has not been. Even though she brought a spare DS and everything, he has not been humoring her. So she does speak up and say he's an absolute like atrocity.
I fear for our soldiers and anybody serving under him.
You should fear for your citizens, your civilians.
Yeah, he goes after them. He's all about that collateral damage.
Mm-hmm. Always has been.
Well then, I guess we have what we need to do, don't we?
We sure do. I'm
All right, and
look,
before
look, here's the thing. Take a look at Cyndaquil and tell me you don't want to play this fucking
Jenner, oh my
game.
god. Jenner is not default.
Yes?
That's not the time. It's not appropriate for the situation.
Quinn shoves the DS. Quinn shoves
Please read the room.
Quinn shoves the DS into Argento's hands and says, "You will have fun for once in your life, you jerk." And then like Bryn just drags her away. It says,
the
"Nate."
lever open the clamshell.
Sylvia just shrugs and like waits for Lyra to help her out because she's still kind of fucked up from her previous taking a bullet.
Yeah, Quinn does ask, like, how is Corumdir doing? And she does make sure that Sylvia's okay once everybody gets on to the Adolith.
Sylvia's doing fine. Her mobility gear is scrapped.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Quinn.
She's basically She deliberately mounts the Adolith, in fact, in her Atlas because it's small enough to fit in the crew compartments, and it's kind of the only way she brought with her to quickly move.
I think they got a printer. We should be able to get you something.
You know, once we get back to the Flavor Town, we'll even be able to print her out like something more like risque since we got the pirate printer. Yeah.
All right. Real quick, I would actually like to make my downtime roll here because I had an idea.
Go ahead.
I'm going to scrounge and barter and see if I can obtain some blueprints that might be held by a current captive.
Interesting. Go on.
All right, so let's see. You might get some better blah blah blah. All right, if you get it, you can take it on the next mission as reserves. Okay, so let's see what I can roll for this. I'm going to say probably investigate would be the best way to do this.
Okay.
You could hack out of him. They wouldn't know.
Shoved into his brain.
Yeah, and it's not like there's anybody around here who would care that much about me hacking through this guy's stuff. 20 plus 6. All right, that's a 15. So a 15 on scrounge and barter is I get what I want, but choose the price I need to pay. So let's see, that's between time, dignity, reputation, or health, comfort, and wellness. Probably time. I think I'm able to get his mech's blueprints off of him, but I'm going to A, decode that, and B, fit it to a format that can be used on the V3 printer. So I'm not going to get a new mech for Coriander immediately, but eventually we'll have a Ronin.
Nice.
Ooh.
Nice. Okay. So from here, like you set that up while you're on the Adolith, then we basically travel from the Adolith back to the Flavor Town. We're gonna do some time dilation to make it so it doesn't take too long. And then y'all basically just get to chill out on the Flavor Town and actually relax for a couple of days. It's just cool down, recover, print out new stuff, and repair the Flavor Town from the damage. When you do arrive at the Flavor Town, you'll find 2 ships have been patrolling, just kind of standing guard over the Flavor Town. These ships are the most cobbled together, messed up, fucking made out of scrap. It's like the Ashai's mechs, but spaceships in the air. And they don't, like, they're not attacking the Flavor Town. They're just sitting there guarding it. Like, and they're not surveilling it. Like, they're not patching into it. They're just there. If you hail them, which you can,
I would hail them.
Yeah.
I would say, like, hey, can we open a line with them? This is weird.
Yeah. The like you get answered by a pale like hooded rat person. Like it's another Nimish person who smiles and waves at you, and she says, "Hello, my name is Gunnar. We're here with on Freya's orders to make sure nobody blows up your space station. We're Nimish and we're allies. It's nice to meet you finally."
Yeah, sure. You want to come on over once we get settled?
I think we'll want to keep at least some of us here just to be on the safe side. But yeah, all those of us who can will come hang out for a bit. We'd love to. I
Yeah,
think.
sure. Give us like a couple hours.
Yeah, sure. Like they look around, like you do want to hang out with the Hex Girls, right? And you hear like hell yeah, like from like the background behind them, and they say yeah, well those of us who can, again, we want to keep an eye out, but those of us who can, we'll take turns. We'll come hang out. Thanks for inviting us. It's been fun to watch your place.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, Gunnar seems
Appreciate it.
Gunnar seems young, but not like illegally young like Quinn. Gunnar's like 20.
It isn't against the law to be less than 16.
It's against the law. You must be 16 or older to fight in war, okay? I don't
must
make
be 16 or older too.
no. Okay. You know, like fairgrounds where it's like you must be this tall. That's you have to pass the you must be this tall to fight in war. You gotta get the height thing. That's why Covenant's 5'2". She's actually too small to be in war, and Deliverance is breaking the size rules. Anyway, so yeah, once you all settle in, those like the Nimish basically do. They take turns to like come and hang out and meet you. They're a whole crew, but the Flavor Town is big enough to actually man an entire crew of 2 ships. So yeah, they come in and they're like, hey, you know, they're very friendly. You know, they're Nimish are like about like 4 to 5 feet tall normally. So they're smaller than like most human-sized people, but still sizable enough that they're not like right?
They stand kind of hunched, so
Yeah,
they
yeah.
look shorter than they are.
Yeah. And they're friendly, you know, they're social, they don't talk in their own language around you. The universal translators will translate everything they say. They bring some stuff, but they're like, look, we didn't actually think you were gonna invite us on this Swava. Told us you would. Well, told those of us who are pretending we're not talking to her. Somebody who's not Swava, wink, told us that you would invite us on. So we lost a bet with her. Anyway, I guess we can bake you some cookies or something. I don't know. Do you have a kitchen?
Yes, we have a lab.
Yeah.
It's like a science kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
Literally what it is.
You also do have a kitchen. Like I put your pogs here in the room. The kitchen is down to the south of the common room.
This was like a food science place.
Yeah.
So like it's got a fucking like professional ass.
It does. It does. It has
station. It's just one kitchen.
Yeah, the whole space station is one kitchen, but like then they have like the mess hall kitchen. But yeah, you do have the labs up. These labs right here where they were doing food crimes. These labs right here. So yeah, you can take them to those labs.
Food justice.
Yeah. the labs for food crimes. These 2 labs where they were doing food crimes. Yes. So yeah, the Nimish will go and bake you some cookies, right? And they're damn good, and they'll hang out, and they'll try and make alcohol while they're there, and like so for like 6 days you're just hanging out, and the Nimish are very friendly, and they'll tell you stories, and they'll hang out with you, and they'll make Bryn alcohol, which is his favorite thing. And they'll fix the giant fish on his wall so it's so less obnoxious. Like they hack it for him. So it stops menacing him constantly and he can finally sleep once again. But yeah, so you got about 6 days to just chill out. 4 to 6 days, I would say. Hanging out with these Nimish who are just kind of keeping you company and keeping watch over your space station because they were asked to by Freya.
I feel like it's just like lively, but it's not like party time.
Yeah, they're not they're very chill and they don't party, and also they'll hang out with the Adalith crew. Like they're very friendly with the Adalith crew. So yeah, they integrate with both groups. They're very friendly. I guess like really quick, I would like the other two GMs who aren't me, to kind of fill people in on what goes on in the galaxy in these 4 to 6 days. I know that like Alice, the communists on Blair make an alliance with Deliverance's martyrs, right? Or some. Well, they don't know it's the martyrs, but go on with that.
So, Rhea will kick some of her basically reports she gets on how the situation is developing in the frontier.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, intelligence stuff based to Bryn, mostly because she will do this as a way of keeping him basically on retainer. Um, they will be paying a small fee to ensure that they have access to the hex girls whenever needed. As part of that, she's keeping you informed. Um, the Blair sector, which was the beginning of this kind of wave of conflict, has become very difficult to communicate with or to get into, as it is surrounded by systems that have seceded into the Confederation of the Frontier.
Bunch of weird civil wars for some reason. Weird.
The situation on the inside, as far as they can tell, is that the revolution on Blair is proceeding apace, with mass demonstrations and political unrest, but she's heard some disturbing reports that Blair, since doesn't have it doesn't actually know they don't know what's going on outside of the sector, because all they know is that the communications are down, and they think it's because the local government is trying to keep them from calling for help. It is probably actually because the local government is. That's actually probably because the surrounding war is deliberately, like, people are deliberately dampening attempts by the Blairites to get word out, because they don't want Blair calling for help,
Mm-hmm.
because that will bring the hammer down on them. And in the meantime, because they don't know what's going on, they have made contact with deliverance agents on the planet, and they may or may not have gone into cahoots with them. She is not sure what they are planning, or even if they have actually done this, but she is concerned about it, and said that if she gets anything actionable, that she will probably be sending the Hex Girls into Blair, because they will probably be the only thing she can send into Blair
Mm-hmm.
if she ever figures out what's going on.
Yeah, and Rhea will be sending this to Bryn via the matchmaker. There's absolutely zero way
Yes.
at this point that anybody can listen in on this.
Yeah, I've made her aware of our upcoming plans to the business that I have to do, just so they know what they're actually be going soon.
Yeah.
So that she can factor that into her any future
Yeah,
plans.
but
She'll
Bryn,
she'll go ahead and give you all the data she has on Confederate movement between where, like, base, like, in the air, in sort of the anywhere near that, so that you can avoid any active battle zones. So, because she needs you to live.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's right. Well, we'll see.
yeah.
I don't say that to her. I think Bryn thinks that, but
Sylvia is just touched to know this information. Did I say touched? I meant livid, because this
Mhm.
is like the worst thing.
Yeah.
Let me know when the exposition is done, because there is a thing. I don't know if this counts as a downtime action, but there's a thing I think I'm going to attempt to do in character and am willing to be talked out of by the other character.
All right, sure. Well, I guess Fef, do you want to talk about what's going on with Boundless then, before I kind of get to the big, like, Deliverance is the biggest, baddest, most bullshit faction in this galaxy recap?
Well, there's not a lot of external movements in Boundless at the moment. They've mostly been helping out the situation with the Common Front.
I do
Uh,
suspect that Irina has won the election at this point,
I
and
was
yeah,
gonna.
yeah.
Alright, so,
Sorry, go ahead.
yeah, let's see where's. Oh, okay. So, basically, the main force has been helping out with that. That's pretty much the only troop movement they've really managed these past few, like, months, since the NAP was established. Uh, that being said, companies have also gone, not exactly quiet per se, but there's not quite as many advertisements for the, softer mechs that, you want to have a joyride in, but there have been a few more advertisements for, say, maybe this mech with some good weaponry. You don't know. Could come in
Listen, we have all the deals on all the good licenses,
Mm-hmm.
and you don't want to be caught flat-footed in this dangerous universe, do you?
So yeah, not a lot of external advertisements. Probably plenty of internal memos though. And then lastly, um, there's a bit of unrest internally because there's a new election coming up for the head of Populace for Boundless. They are the representation of the planet Athena, and as Jenner said before, there is somebody notable who is up in the running and is doing pretty well.
A bit too well.
It's Quinn's mom.
Yeah, it's Quinn's mom, Irina. If you remember her, you remember her fondly from the Salwin episode.
So I think Bryn sees this and he's like reading the paper like on his tablet. He like spits out his fucking coffee. Like, oh, damn it!
And I think at one point we like cut over to General Argento doing like some kind of work nearby the prison cells, and you just see Quirk going, "Man, it sure would be a bad time to have done such an anti-deliverance move." General Argento makes no reaction, but Quirk's just like, nice, though, that people of Athena are very open-minded about potential allies, isn't it? And Argento's just like, what's your aim? He's like, well, I don't particularly care is the thing. I mostly just wanted to annoy you, since I'm locked in here and the rest of the acid reflux group is off doing, oh, who knows what. War crimes? If you'd like to, if you'd like to call it that, sure.
What a fucker! This guy sucks. I hate him.
Mr. General Dranto, Boundless doesn't have a real official military, and since there is no real official military, I cannot be tried for war crimes because there is no military court, and thus, Quirk, go away. Fuck you, Quirk.
Wow.
All right. Anything more from you,
So
Fem?
yes, implications that
Mhm.
maybe it wasn't the best idea to send the Hex Girls to go attack these people.
Oops.
Well, I mean, we don't. We just do what we're paid to do.
Yeah, it's not our
And
problem.
they deserved it, to be fair.
Yeah, it's not our problem. This is not a. This is a General Argento problem. Velius, well, like Velius and his wife will bring Argento some alcohol and get drunk with him and help and like make him feel better. But, yeah. I guess like one of the other things I wanted to ask, but I guess I can just ask it in the GM chat, as I know that you two were working out like Cinder getting menaced. I don't know if that's happening during this time period yet or not.
Probably not.
Okay, well then let's move on to what's going on with Deliverance. Okay, so a lot is going on with Deliverance. Deliverance is doing exactly what Quirk told you it would do. It's playing this I'm not touching you kind of game with the fringe worlds of the Common Front and pressing their buttons and agitating them until they get so upset at the Common Front not fucking doing anything that they break out into revolt, and then Deliverance just swoops in, since they're technically not the Common Front anymore, to put to put things back in order as very helpful, benevolent entities in the galaxy that they are, and swoop up those worlds.
It's
But
totally fair and good.
it's totally fair and good, and definitely not something that I do a lot in Crusader Kings. When playing Crusader Kings. But on the flip side of that, Svava and the rest of the Wooloos are gathering their forces. And so every time one of these like Common Front worlds splinter off, Svava also sends her contacts in to get as many allies from those splintered off worlds who are anti-deliverance into the Wooloos and onto her side, onto the Wooloo side of things. So she's able to begin mustering a small group, but a not insignificant amount of allies, like she told you she would be doing. Additionally, since you all were able to get a matchmaker to Freya through like this kind of like circle jerk kind of thing, Swav was finally able to talk to her actual like ex in parentheses wife and make an alliance with the Nimish. The Nimish are now 100% on the Wooloo side, and Freya's so happy and relieved she's talking normally and not plotting big murder anymore because she can finally talk to her wife again. But on the surface, they still can't display that. So, like, on the surface, the Nimish are still pretending that they're just staying out of it because they're so deep in Deliverance territory. But under the surface, the Nimish are very good guerrilla fighters and very good at being secretive and, like, keeping a low profile. And they have stealth ships that are effectively, like, blend into space. So they're, like, doing small, like, nuisance stuff, acting like raiders.
Guerrilla warfare.
Yep. And to harass and bother and make themselves pains in the ass to Deliverance. And what this does is it draws Deliverance's attention away from the fact that the Arathlands, the people that you allied with, the cool people that are fun, cool people, have gone on the warpath because they learned the truth about what happened to the Ashai and burned off into space and have been actively seeking out every martyr regiment in space and kicking the ever-living shit out of it and then sucking them into their vortex of rage because like people who are consumed by this concept of Arath are drawn to bigger anger, and the Ashai Arath Lance is more pissed than Deliverance has ever been making them. And so these martyrs are just drawn like moths to the flame, just vacuumed up into the outrage of the Arath Lance. And they've just been going and going and going and like building this fucking massive army of constantly berserking martyrs and killing anybody who doesn't actually join them. So there's next to no way that Deliverance can know that this shit is going on, and it's just building up speed and like getting huge and big and angry. And the way you'll find out about this is basically Hyrule will check in with Isadora, since Quinn sent her that hot clip reel of Isadora murdering people with a sword, and let her know, hey, I accidentally an entire army, I guess. Take a look, and she'll like turn the camera out of her cockpit, like with a chagrined look on her face, at like this prickling army of former martyrs. Just like just vibrating in anger in space because they want to continue murdering.
God, Isadora's just like at her computer, and like on one screen you can just see like mech schematics of a mech you haven't seen yet, and then just on the other screen is this, and Isadora's just like, what?
And so again, Hyrule explains, like, S got really, really pissed, and she kind of drug me. Well, not drug. I mean, I went willingly. Please don't be upset. Into this pet project of hers of trying to bring our Arathing people back into the fold. And it turns out that the martyrs that Deliverance have been creating out of people who aren't our people, non-Ashai, can also be drawn in to this berserking status of ours. And so now they're just kind of following us and so we're just going to keep going until something stops us. Honestly, sweetie, you should be wishing them luck, the people who try to stop us, not us.
Oh God, that's just so much to take in.
Yeah. I miss you. I hope that's not too fast.
We should set up another date when you're not in the middle of a righteous spree, I guess.
I mean, that's gonna be a while. I think we can find time. I'll take a break. I'm sure Zala, that's what she's going by now, will go take them on some raids and distract them for a couple hours. Oh, she like sends you some combat footage of the new Arath horde, I guess is what we'll be calling it, on like the attack, and it's, oh god, it's glorious. They just like there's literally zero mercy. These ships and whatever they go after just go up like instantly. It's like have you ever seen like the bees swarm the Japanese hornets that are invading their hives and just like burn them alive with the heat of their bodies?
Oh,
It's like that but violent. If you showed this to Lyra, she would think it was Reavers.
Just in another room. There's like, huh?
Yeah. Just Quinn will send Lyra like a tiny clip so Lyra can be deeply traumatized. I befriended these people. I talked to them. I had drinks with them. They flirted with me. My wife almost had sex with one of them. It's fine. But yeah, so like they're gathering steam. So that's the main thing going on there. Finally, now that Vadim is out of retirement more officially, Quinn is informed by Kovanen because they talk fairly regularly now that Svava keeps getting into more heated trouble out in those armpits of the galaxy that she keeps getting sent to by Deliverance, and she's too proud to ask for help. So Kovanen actually realizes this is what's going on. And she's going to call Josephus. That's the clanner from the Found Family mission, the one that Quinn made cyberbullied in real life and then became her clan brother. See, Quinn is an idiot, and she didn't think to not just give Kovanen full access to her contact list exactly as she listed them, since she's so blindly and stupidly in love with her. So Kovanen can just open up the contact list, the shared contact list, and see Josephus' clan brother as the listed contact, is how Quinn put it in her address book, and just call that person. I'll be role-playing Kovanen because I didn't give Fefner a script. Sorry, Fef. But I mean, the thing is, I have no idea. Josephus has no idea who Kovanen is. He either knows that she's Deliverance's little poster child, the black sheep Kovanen, or he has no idea who she is. So this conversation is going to go over really well. So yeah, this NPC gets a call from another NPC.
Yeah, I guess he would take it.
Yeah, he does have a matchmaker because Quinn sent him one, and it comes over the matchmaker. I don't know what he's been using it for, in all this time, right? It's just been sitting there. He might get challenged to chess matches from Rhea or something, right? But mostly he's probably
extremely bad at it.
Yeah. So yeah, again, this girl in a Deliverance uniform, because she can't not be wearing it, right? Greets him, and I don't know if he recognizes her as the Black Sheep Kovanen. If he does, she's on all of their propaganda, so he might.
Yeah, they've been in quote unquote civilized space long enough at this point that they know some things, and they know who she is.
Yeah. So but she's not behind the flag because she's on the Ixorn. So she's sitting in a pilot's chair, kind of with this very intense expression on her face as she says, you don't know me. Well, you might. I don't know you, but you know Quinn, right?
Indeed, I do.
I also know Quinn. I hope I can ask for your assistance via that mutual connection that we have. I'm not your enemy.
That I do not recognize you as such.
Oh, that was a lot easier than I thought it would be. She visibly relaxes. She looks so relieved. She thought this was going to be a huge thing. Oh, all right. You probably don't know her. She's probably not in your contact list, but there's this really stubborn rat woman, a Nimish. You might not know who the Nimish are. And she's getting herself in trouble in space. She's almost getting herself killed. Quinn's dad, Vadim, is trying to kill her. She's often in the periphery in your space. Could you keep an eye on her? I have snuck a tracking device on her ship. Here's the code for it so you can keep track of wherever the fuck she is in space. Can you please keep this rat woman from fucking dying? Because she's too stupid to ask for help.
Yes, but as clan law provides, we will do this favor for you. But you must also, at some point, do a favor for us.
No, I'm deeply limited in my capacity for what I can do
I
because
will. I will not break your honor. I promise.
it's not about my honor, it's about my situation. And she gestures to her deliverance outfit, like her deliverance uniform with her marks of rank.
I'm not a fool. I understand that you have limits.
I will hear what you have to say and pay back whatever debt I owe to you for this service.
If at any point we, our clans find ourselves in spaces deliverance is moved into, if it is within your power to keep deliverance from bothering us, do what you can. If it is not within your power, then it is unreasonable to ask. Do you understand?
I do. I don't know if I have that kind of influence in deliverance.
That's all I need to know then. That's fine. We'll do what we can.
I can give you connections to some friends who will more than gladly show up to any sort of fight against deliverance. And she'll just give Josephus the contact information for Hyrule. So Josephus can start
Okay.
making friends with the Arathlands. And yeah, Hyrule will gladly take this giant army of constantly berserking war criminals over to beat the shit out of deliverance.
Yeah, he'll accept that, and that will be enough.
Yeah. Thank you. Maybe don't tell Quinn that this is a thing. I don't know. That's up to you.
I'm not sure she needs that.
Great. It was a pleasure. Covanance, I don't need to say that. Take care. And she hangs up on them. Yeah, that's it. So that'll be the end of that NPC dialogue. So yeah, we're gonna try and keep my NPCs alive from these constant take someone out rolls that I've been making behind the scenes.
You know, those are just for PCs, Jenny. Those aren't for NPCs to roll. You just decide what happens.
Shush. Sometimes I like to see. Okay, you don't understand. All right.
Which of one of my children dies today?
All right.
We roll this d20 and find out.
Should I kill?
20 is arc.
Should I kill my persona? Let's do it. Let's find out today in a secret channel. The I'm rolling dice. All right.
Yes.
Jeff,
Kill
the
your
player,
personas.
leaps in to protect Ark just so Ark can kick his ass.
Yeah.
We'll see.
So these 6 days pass. Anybody want to do any additional downtime? Again, you've got 2 like crews of rat people who occasionally move off and on
still
the flavor
have
town.
4 people who have not, no, 3 people
Yep.
who have not rolled their downtime actions.
And 3 people who have
including
not.
you, Jenner.
Yeah, I have not rolled mine yet. Don't worry, I'm gonna get to it. So who wants to go next?
You want to go first, Cass?
I think so. I don't even know if this counts as a downtime action, but here's what Sylvia's doing for these 6 days. She's aggressively looking for a job anywhere on the surface of or near Den Haag.
Amazing. Okay, I'll get back to you out of character about the job opportunities on Den Haag. She's probably gonna need to make a fake ID because Sylvia Reynard would not be hired. The people who control Den Haag are Deliverance, and Deliverance knows enough to know that the Hex Girls aren't on their side. So you're gonna need to.
Weirdly enough, and this is a detail that I actually did not intend for this purpose, but it works out stupidly well. You know how we all have 3 things of pilot gear?
Yeah.
Since the beginning, one of Sylvia's has been info skin.
Jesus
It's
Christ,
been
really?
this whole fucking time. I've never used it.
I've used all mine at least once.
Mm-hmm.
I have never actually used mine because it never came up.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, you're gonna need to do something to make a fake ID and like come up with the whole thing. Like Quinn will literally help you like make an entire like birth certificate and record for this fake ID so you can do this. Yes.
Find
The,
some time might work.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe gather information.
What would it be to like
I'm
create
thinking-
an entire
I'm
fucking
thinking what I
maybe
actually need to do here is actually scrounge or barter.
scrounge a barter, or I would
Because-
yeah, or power at a cost because like you're literally like making an identity, a fake identity.
I
But
I would
yeah.
also say
making an identity is like, yeah, like the big thing is that like I could do it as power at a cost, but I don't think that works out in this case because we need to get it done quick and dirty.
I would make an
Because-
argument for get connected.
Yeah.
On this one, if you need a fake ID.
Get connected might be a good one, yeah. Like really anything but power at a cost, because one of the costs that can be imposed for that is time.
That's true.
And anything that makes the process like take too long is going to functionally result in like your fake ID is here. Anyway, the ship you're trying to obviously snoop on left.
Yeah, I guess like for the purposes of this, the fake ID is just the flavor that you get. This is a gather information role. You get this information while you are under this fake identity.
Okay, so you're doing this entire thing as a narrative action. All right.
Yep. Yep.
So here's what we're gonna do. Sylvia has no triggers that are good for this.
Mm-hmm.
She just does not.
But Quinn will help you to give you that plus 1d6 for her connections.
I will actually argue that Rita's situation, as with everything, apparently, is applicable here.
I'm listening
Because
to your argument.
Not for the actual gathering of the fake ID, but for actively maintaining her character and keeping her nose down and avoiding being spotted once she is on planet.
May I have a resource that I can burn to make this a lot smoother.
Go ahead.
Ooh.
I have a contact in IPSN.
Okay.
And IPSN works across borders.
It's true.
I can burn that contact to get Sylvia a valid reason to be on the planet for IPSN on business that gives her plausible deniability and a IPSN issued papers, basically.
That definitely will give her a bonus, and yeah, I think Fefner's okay to accept this argument that Rita's situation is probably like get a hold of something, read a situation, investigate. Those would be great skills for this. Just so you know, Cass, Scarlett. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Either or.
Yeah.
All of the above. All
Yeah.
right. So yeah, in this case, I only have one of the three, so the
Yeah.
choice is made for me.
Yep. Go ahead.
So we're gonna just roll a d20 and hope it comes up on something better than 4.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Exactly 4.
Yep. So go ahead
I
and
did it exactly 10.
go ahead and add that plus 1d6 from the contact, though.
Yeah.
yeah. Should.
Or you could, roll it. There you go. 15. 15 is much better. So what's 15 on the get connected here? Not get connected, gather information. Sorry.
That's
You get what you want, but you either leave evidence of your tampering or you have to kill someone. You have to implicate or get rid of someone innocent.
Yeah. So it's not going to be like somebody you actually want dead. You can't weasel out of this. You're going to have to hurt somebody that you would not want dead. We won't make it anybody super important because that's too sad.
I mean,
or you can leave something behind. But either way,
that's
a
good question. That is a good question.
I mean, if you're there with an IPSN papers, you might get IPSN on the planet in trouble.
Yeah.
Like do the people in the IPSN office get raided after you leave?
So I think narratively this is how it goes down.
Go on.
So Sylvia gets essentially a short job on Dinhark. She ships out. She's actually not on the Flavor Town for most of these days that everyone else is resting. So
Mm-hmm.
off doing this nonsense and actually leaves care and maintenance of her mech in other capable hands,
Mm-hmm.
namely Lyra's.
Mm-hmm.
Um, she gets on a little IPSN cruiser, goes down planet side, and effectively her role is her fake cover is as a mech support engineer and mechanic. Here to do some hull testing for the massive number of Caliban line frames that Deliverance requires for ship-to-ship boarding.
Yep.
And while she's down there looking into that, I think she basically makes the excuses she needs to do to get some time alone in the computer system
Mm-hmm.
of wherever it's going down. And when she's supposed to be reviewing the latest data for like Deliverance's Caliban munitions.
Yeah. What I suspect is like she got hired as like a mech upkeep mechanic repair
Yeah.
person, and so it's very easy for her to get in here and do
Yeah.
this. Yeah.
Yeah. She grabs the data, and I'm thinking, all right, I'm gonna let the GMs choose here. Just choose for me. Which of them do you think will be more exciting for the group narratively? If Sylvia leaves implicating information behind, or if she has to implicate or kill someone on the way out?
Implicate, kill somebody affects your nonsense more, Fafner, because it would basically be causing trouble for IPSN, which create more of a headache for Cinder and Lionel. Whereas leaving evidence behind puts spurs up my ass because it's going to put heat on Kovan and other entities like that.
I think I might say leave clear evidence because technically speaking, getting IPSN and Deliverance on each other's bad side is kind of more of an advantage, if anything else.
That's true. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I could definitely see that.
I think in this case, actually, we do implicate. Sylvia's borrowing the name of an actual IPSN engineer, and she's had to give it a lot.
Well, we don't want to turn IPSN and Deliverance on each other because that's too helpful.
No, you just wrung out that guy's life.
Yeah.
Basically, what you did.
I can think of things to do.
Okay. Fafner and I will talk about it, but yeah.
I think narratively, then she did leave clear evidence behind, and that it's obvious that someone not only accessed this information, but just downloaded it all onto the smallest external hard drive that she could carry. Sylvia rips out everything she can. She rips the schematics of the actual weapon on the death site.
Mm-hmm.
If she can get them. She rips information on how many guns it actually has for defense.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of armor it has.
I do want, if you have hack, could you just give me a quick hack roll so I can get an idea of just how good the information you get is?
I do actually have that.
Yeah, so give me a hack roll because like this has this is outside of your security, right? Like you don't have the clearance to get this shit.
Well, I kind of feel like if we're talking clearance, if I didn't have the clearance to get this shit, then narratively I would have done something else.
Well, it's more like you can get like the base stuff, but like to get the deeper details, you would have needed like a bit of a better. But I say go ahead and at least get over 10 for this with the 1d6 by again just like ruining this guy's life. He's dead now, by the way, or she. They are dead now. But yeah.
All right. I'll take that.
Yeah. Why don't you roll it?
Yeah, I'm having.
Okay, just 10. Barely 10. Okay, see, like, jeez, gosh, this dude is dying for like, for this person is dead for like the okay, yeah. What I'll tell you is like you can definitely get like the schematics and get the idea of what this thing is, but unfortunately you can't dig deep enough to get the truth. You get exactly the propaganda that this guy that Quirk was told that makes it seem like a bigger deal than it actually is. The GM will tell you in reality.
That's exactly what
Yep.
I wanted.
Yep,
so
yep,
that's
yep, yep,
perfect.
yeah. Like the
Yeah,
GM will
so-
tell you like in reality it takes a bit for this thing to charge up. It's like the Death Star, right? And then lay loose, and then it takes a bit for the atmosphere to burn off and kill off the entire population. But hell yeah, this thing exists.
The important
Yeah.
thing is I have direct
Yep.
evidence that there is in fact a total biome kill
Mm-hmm.
weapon mounted on a deliverance ship and
Mm-hmm.
is currently being supplied to fire. That's all we need.
The thing is, like, it's difficult
Anything
to
else
like
would just be information on like the best way to shoot it down, and that was all great.
getting people like enough like the entire galaxy to believe this is real is going to be hard because there's not enough like it's very much like Sasquatch Bigfoot photos kind of stuff. But like people like Lionel and General Argento, etc., will know that yes,
There's only one person that I need to send this to.
yep, like the people.
Sylvia takes it back to the thing, and she's going to matchmaker this straight to Rhea Tavros.
Yep, yeah, Rayos will absolutely believe that this shit is for real, and yes, it is. So, yep.
Despite the fact that for some reason the photograph you have, the ship's like half turned around and everything's blurry. I don't know how that worked out on a ship, but it did.
Rhea Tavros has like a "I want to believe" poster in her room. Charity believe.
She matchmakers that to Rhea. She matchmakers it to Argento. She matchmakers it to literally every military contact we made.
Poor Lionel wakes up at like 4 o'clock in the morning, does Velia's. Just go ahead and look at it. I can't bear to look.
Does the whole matchmaker vibrate like a phone?
It can. It makes like a little like it makes a pleasant ding, and you can upload your own sound file for the ringtone of it, or just put it on silent so it just kind of leaves a notification like Discord does that you have a notification. But yeah.
When they get back out of like deliverance space, Sylvia basically thanks the IPSN people she was flying with for having her alone, and silently kind of apologizes for anything that happens to them because of it. She really hopes nothing bad happens, but she's pretty sure that she just went well beyond the favor owed and makes a mental note to do something very, very good for them in the future if she can.
I will tell you before you leave Denhark, while you didn't have a lot of time to wander it, it's a paradise. This planet is gorgeous, and it's just been completely like wrecked by Deliverance presence.
Extraction. That's great. No, it's fine. Yeah. Sylvia just basically, once she makes it out of there with that information, she sends it off and reunites with the Hex Girls and essentially just tells everyone, what she just did. So if you haven't made a downtime roll, congratulations. Your downtime roll can now be made with the knowledge what Sylvia was doing.
Yeah, so I guess, Isadora, have you done your downtime yet? I forget.
I did. That was for getting the Ronin blueprint.
Yeah, okay, Lyra.
Sylvia has once again ruined another person's life.
Nope, it's Sylvia has a pretty big death count.
I think you have the biggest body count in this whole fucking campaign.
Well, Quinn stomped on and killed like
true on multiple levels but also I do want to point out that we began this campaign with Quinn stomping on half a platoon.
Yeah, as I say, Quinn killed like 9 people when she stomped on people, and then she killed a bunch more last mission. I think actually.
Okay, we don't need to litigate this. Let's move on.
Yeah,
I kill a mech every single time I shoot you guys. I feel disrespected.
It's true. Lyra has a pretty big body count too. Also, in terms of like sexual body count, Lyra has had sex with the most people.
Oh my god! It is
but
true.
anyway.
Doesn't say that. Anyway.
My old friend, the consequences of his actions.
I mean, you say that, yet Bryn's the one with a literal child that's like his age.
Yep, it's true.
That's a weird time shit.
Yep.
Okay.
All right, so Lyra, it's your turn for your downtime action while I'm done being horny.
Lyra is going to get connected.
Okay.
Lyra's going to attempt to both get in touch with the elements of Clan Wolf that are in the civilized sphere,
Mm-hmm.
and also convince them to help her get some kind of basically get in touch with the Nimish
Okay.
to tell them that is potentially their planet that is going to get super killed.
Okay, well, don't waste your roll. You don't need to do this. You have the
Okay.
You have the matchmaker, and Freya's already a contact on the list and the matchmaker.
Oh yeah, that's right. Okay, never mind. I won't do that. Let me think about something I want to do here.
Yeah, sorry.
I no, I completely forgotten about that. I will, in for the record, that will be a thing. If somebody else doesn't do it, she will. Tell us about.
You could get your clan to know about the Nimish so that they can join the Willus.
Actually, that will be a thing. She's going to try to convince the elements of Clan Wolf and whatever other clans have ventured south in the galaxy here to consider teaming up with the Wooloos and the Nimish um, to basically see them as worth helping out. So she's going to get connected. I'm looking at. Is there anything else I can add to this role? I'm thinking.
You could add your background to your background for sure.
You are a planner.
Yeah, background and I'm trying to think of one of these triggers that would be the most appropriate. Charm seems appropriate.
Charm's pretty appropriate, yeah.
Yeah, I think charm's appropriate here. Okay.
You can always fight someone to convince them.
I mean, honestly.
Fly fist to faces.
Okay, yeah, it's great. Hell yeah.
Very nice. Yeah, that is. So what is that? That's a 21.
That's a critical success.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's just say here, Pepner, with a 21. I don't even think there's a side effect that 21 is
21
there.
was, which one?
It's all both sides.
What are we rolling for again?
Get connected.
So it says your connection will help you out, no strings attached.
Yeah, basically, if you want to use them next time, you can just do that freely. Any others, you do have to, do some promises or favors.
Yeah. So
but you have impressed the hell out of them.
Yeah, I guess like you have made a job for yourself, else. Go ahead and make an NPC. They're Lyra's new contact, and yeah, every clanner, like with a roll that high, you can get a sizable number of not just Clan Wolf, but basically any other board clanner looking for a fight down close enough into the close enough to actually get into Overture proper. We'll go ahead and take a look at these. To take a look at the Nimish, who will then patch them in with the Wooloos.
Okay, I'll work on out of session. I'll work on an NPC.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah. Okay. I guess it's Quinn's downtime now. Fuck.
Can't wait.
I was stalling for time because I honestly had no idea what I'm gonna be doing. Like a lot of what I wanted to do for Quinn has already been done. Because I still can't figure out how to make the project be a thing that has ended. It still is in progress on my sheet, and I can't figure out how to make the project be done. But yeah, the matchmaker's completely finished. The VR and everything is completely set up, which means people can go on dates, VR dates, in the matchmaker, and Hyrule's totally down for that. Let's do this dumb VR date thing. But that's Isadora's problem. Quinn also wants to go on VR dates, but she's got more stubborn significant others. But she did go on.
Why doesn't she try to buy some time and see if we can't delay, convince some people to do a work slowdown on loading the Ebrium for the Death Scythe?
Yeah, let us do that. Let us buy some time.
What happened? You could also help the guy who's been implicated.
I could, but Quinn.
I figured that'd be the
I
answer.
don't know if Quinn knows that guy, but let's see. If Quinn rolls well enough, she might accidentally it could have that ripple effect, right?
It won't.
Rip that dude. For Quinn wants to buy some time because Kova's stressed out. We'll talk about that in just a second. But yeah, so Quinn wants to buy some time to slow down the Ebrium and actually give Kova some time to go on a fucking second date with her. So yeah, let's because they've already gone on one actual VR date, which we'll talk about here in just a second. But yeah, all right. So let's go ahead and buy that time. Can't do it as well. Might be able to do it as a celebrity. Let's see if I need to, because then I have to spin this a little bigger. Let me look at Quinn's stats really. Yeah, this is more like a charm roll. And Quinn's charm is at +6 because she's Quinn fucking Riesling and she's very charming. So here we go. Wow, 13. Yeah, a 13 is probably good enough thing that she won't have to flex her celebrity status. I think a 13 is probably close enough.
Yeah, there's nothing you could really do with an extra D6.
Yeah, so we'll just go ahead with that. So yeah, we bought time. Yeah. It says here, you can buy enough time, but the situation becomes precarious or desperate, and the next time you get this result with the same situation, you treat it as a 9 or lower. So yeah, the time Quinn buys is she slows down the Ebrium. Like she oh gosh, she'll just get the miners to start to negotiate for higher pay. The miners on Dinhark.
Yeah, you instigate a strike.
Yep, instigate a strike. The miners on Dinhark were already in a union, but it was one of those, performative bullshit unions because Deliverance likes to pretend, right, that they're decent, but they're actually not. But now the miners are trying to actually make a real union that does real union things and isn't full of like bootlicking, powerless, toothless unions. And so that's a thing that's going on Dinhark that Deliverance has to deal with, and it slowed down the Ebrium mining and gives us some time. And it especially gives Kovanen time to actually make time to go on a second date with Quinn, which is good. So yeah, I'll just say that.
I like that, like, your motivation for, like, stopping this terrible ultra super weapon that destroys entire planet's ecosystems is so you can go on a fucking date with your girlfriend.
Priorities are in order.
She's a hormonal 16-year-old girl.
16 years old. We got to give her a break.
No, but no.
I have to stop
You don't have time.
I'm
Guess
gay.
I gotta destroy entire economy.
I gotta destroy an entire economy so I can kiss my e-girlfriend. Thank you. No, like I Jenner am Jennering this up. Like Quinn is actually very like socially minded, and like for her it's more important that she slow down the Ebrium, and Kovanen finding time to actually go on another date with her is just a nice bonus. But I Jenner thought it was funny to prioritize the other thing as like a joke. But yeah, so I'll go ahead and put that on my sheet, and that's basically all the downtime. I will go over, like, in these 6 days, Quinn went in between the missions, in between the last mission and the mission that Vadim just showed up in, Quinn actually went on a actual real date with her now girlfriend Kovanen, and it went fairly well, and Kovanen actually agreed to give actually being girlfriends a shot, which is what put Quinn in a really good mood. So over these next couple 6 days, Quinn and Kovanen have occasional on-again dates in the matchmaker that Kovanen will never actually call actually dates, but they are actually dates.
It's not like I like you or anything.
Yeah, it's definitely not like she likes her or anything, though she does. And I'll just summarize like a couple of them, but they'll be like longer, cuter things. But like they mostly just have 2 conversations in these 6 days. One is they learn what each other's birthdays are. And Quinn's birthday is on March 3rd, and Kovanen's is on December 22nd, so it's coming up. And the other conversation that they have is like a bit more intense, and it's about like gay culture and how it was almost wiped out, and that Quinn as a gay person and Kova as a gay person survived a cultural genocide. So we'll have those talks as pilot logs in the future whenever me and Fefner can find time to do them. But I guess like the big thing at the end of this conversation is that Kova, who has been rabbit holing through the archives, asks Quinn if Disney ever let Mickey Mouse go. And Quinn responds with confusion of what? And Kova re-asks if Disney ever let Mickey Mouse go free. And Quinn tells Kova that Mickey Mouse isn't fucking real. And...
This destroys her life.
Right?
How could
And
you fucking do this? Just say yes.
and Kova tells her she's dodging the question. So Quinn responds that no, Disney took Mickey Mouse to the fucking grave with them, and they sued the ever-loving shit out of anyone who even thought of using his likeness, or even thinks barely Mickey adjacent, and it was terrible. And Kova tells Quinn that they, Deliverance, have commodified her. And they've branded her, and she's on their posters, and their banners, and their t-shirts, and her name is in their songs, and she's their property, and they own her. And they're not going to just let her walk free. They're going to take her to the grave with them.
Well, then we gotta heist her, don't we?
And she says, but they need to be destroyed. And then she looks to Quinn, and she says, it's not that I don't want to be the term with you. It's that I can't do that to you. And then she ends the date.
Can't believe we're just gonna turn the second half of this into a heist.
Yep.
Just for everything.
You wouldn't download a girlfriend.
We're gonna heist these plans, and we're gonna heist this girl, and then we'll heist ourselves.
I mean, if you get captured and then have to fight your way out, are you technically heisting yourself?
Yeah, I guess another thing I want to reveal as like a cute but also oh gosh hilarious thing is like Isadora, you're definitely gonna have at least one date in the matchmaker with Hyrule, and you have no problems like doing anything you want in the matchmaker, but Quinn complains that she can't even hug Kovanen. She just faces right through her. You don't have that problem. Do you look into this?
Yeah, that's a weird bug.
Okay, well, the matchmaker requires enthusiastic consent for solidity. Isadora doesn't have any problem with enthusiastic consent with her partner, but Kovanen and Quinn do. That's why Quinn and Kovanen can't reach solidity. Do you inform Quinn of this?
Nope.
What a weird bug.
It's more fun if he doesn't know.
Yeah, find out
Bryn
for
has
yourself.
never used the matchmaker, and he never will.
Well,
He
no,
does not.
Bryn uses the matchmaker to talk to Rhea, right? And
Yeah, but he's like sending an email. He's
Yeah.
not like going into VR.
Yeah, no, the VR isn't a thing that you have to do. Like, you don't have to go to VR into the VR dating sim, the Second Life portion of the
VR
match.
chat.
Yeah, you don't have to do the VR chat, but it's there if you want to. But like, no, you can just send emails that are completely encrypted and like video mails and etc. without ever having to go into the VR. But yeah. So yeah, that'll be it. I guess if anybody wants, we can like work out dates. I told Fefner she could literally write the script for me and do unto me as I have done unto her with Kovanen. But that's the end of this downtime session. The final thing. Go ahead.
So I would like, since we know that in the next mission there's an interruption in that mission. I would like to get to that point if we can.
Yeah, I'm about to. What I was about to establish is after Fafner talks, I'm going to tell you what's coming up next. Go ahead.
Yeah, so we should do level ups first.
Yeah, let's do level ups.
Right.
Well, let's do level ups. Let's do level ups at the end of me actually explaining what goes on, because level ups always end at the end of the session. So
well, we're gonna end on a cliffhanger though.
Yeah. But okay. So what you get is an email from Kovanen in the official Deliverance correspondence, which basically informs you that you are to be delivering doing an escort of some important, I guess, like supplies from one planet to the planet, to another planet, the planet of Foram. So you will be taking these supplies, and you'll be escorting these supplies from the planet of whatever, I didn't name it because you never named it, Jeff, to the planet of 4M, which I did decide to name. Or Framt, sorry. So that's the official thing. They'll pay you X amount to do it. And the reasoning that Kovanen gives you in the official channels is that they're overextended, and so they're just going to hire you to do this for them and do us a solid.
This is like, it's like a former Union planet.
Yep. Meanwhile, the planet it's going to, Framt, is the planet that your ex-fiance is actually on.
Oh, that one, yes, yes.
Yeah.
That's the
So you,
important one. The other one
you're
doesn't matter.
yeah, the other one doesn't matter. But so you're already technically being sent to your ex fiance's planet in this mission. That's the official correspondence from Deliverance. The secret correspondence you get from Kovanen through the matchmaker is a brief email where she says to you, Bren, and this is the email: Commander, the Huta that pretends at being Meliora is doing something reprehensible to me, and maybe you'll see it differently. But to me, she's staining your message. And this is a concept you know Nanashai know as co-opting, but we know it as Keela. So Deliverance is hiring you to escort this goodwill gift to Governor Pira Elangris. And I know who she was to you. I learned it from Sylvia and the main characters.
Does everyone know about this?
Mhm.
Princess.
Yeah. So Huta, Meliora, is trying to tell the main characters that you would only be doing this thing if you had something to gain from it financially. And that you would not be doing it because it is the right thing to do. But I know who you are, and I know you are not the kind of person that Huta is pretending is trying to present you as being. And so she is keylaying your S to the main characters, and she's denying you pass. Obstructing pass, which is something that devours your name and declares you lost to us, the Ashai. But that goodwill gift that she is hiring you to escort, they
All right,
are.
1 second.
Yep.
Bryn at this point goes and gets Quinn because he needs her to like translate this for
Yep,
him.
yep, she will, and I'll explain it after I go through this entire email, okay? But so these people, this gift that she is hiring you to escort, they are unknown to her, truly a goodwill gift, which is how Quinn translate this. They are Wooloos, and they are there to assist pre-existing Wooloos, who are there trying to help the people of Frampt get away from Deliverance's clutches. They're there to create a uprising, a rebellion.
Another one.
Yeah, somebody is planning to assassinate your fiance and take over Frampt and bring it closer into Deliverance's clutches.
Why? Why is it so complicated?
Yep. And so these
sooner. I should have sooner.
Yep. And so we're sending Wooloos in to basically protect your ex so she doesn't get assassinated, because she's actually a really good governor who's incredibly beloved by her people.
Yes, she is.
And not let her get assassinated and let this coup happen, and then instead like fight off Deliverance, right? So they need that backup. I don't know how to guide you through this.
Well, I mean, I'm an adult. I'll figure it out.
Yeah, she says that Ark doesn't know the Wooloos exist and can't know, and he won't listen to Svava because she's exiled, and he will not listen to me because he thinks I'm Deliverance's Kovanen.
Well, I mean, it doesn't matter because like he's not there to stop our mission. He's here to get me specifically. So if I get captured, it does not affect the mission.
Yeah, you can write that back to her. But this is her email, right? This is not a video correspondence. This is an email you sent her. So yeah, you just have to go through the entire email. But like basically, she says maybe he'd listen to Freya. Svava won't talk to Freya because she doesn't want her to get exiled, and Freya won't talk to me for the same reason. Ark won't, but maybe she'll talk to you or Isadora, and then be convinced to talk to Ark. It's the best I can do, and you deserve so much more. It's never enough.
What I send her back is I say I have spoken to Ark about this. We have come to understanding. He is not nothing he is doing will jeopardize the mission. So do not worry about that. I will handle it.
Yeah, okay. That relieves her. She does sign the message a Kovanen with you. So like she no longer is signing the messages as if she is Kovanen, but now using the name, like the term Kovanen, instead of it as a name.
I will defer to Quinn for the proper thing to sign my email with.
Quinn like makes a face and says, "I don't know what Kovanen means."
I'll just do the socially accepted business response on these things.
Yeah.
Maybe like the slightly more familiar one than the I don't know who I'm talking to business email.
I guess cordial. Your friend back. I guess is how I would put it. I don't know if covenant. I know what covenant means to me, Dad, but you don't. I don't think you want that kind of relationship with my girlfriend. So.
Okay. Let's see everyone in the conference room.
Yeah. So that'll. Yep. So get everybody into the conference room. Get in here, you losers. Isidore, stop hiding. Thank you. All right. What do you say to close out the mission?
Okay, everyone. For disclosure on this, this mission is mostly a for just for just an excuse to go to this planet. You know what I have to do. We are going to be attacked on the way. There is no way around it. Do your best, but none of our lives will be in danger. So if I get captured, Sylvia, you're in charge until I am no longer captured. If I get taken away, just complete the mission first and then come after me in that order.
Dad,
this is the only one I'm giving you.
Dad, I know we already know where you're going to be taken, but would you be willing to just wear this tracking device so we can find exactly where you are?
I'll wear the tracking device.
Thank you. She puts it on your wrist.
Please, but I promise you, my life will not be in danger. This is more of an emotional struggle that I'm going to be going through, not a physical one.
But this has to do with the fiance and the main characters. For a second, I thought you'd answered another bad email.
No. You know what? I'm never
answering email again.
Anyway, like I said, if I am taken out of commission for this mission, Sylvia, you're in charge.
Great.
Sylvia just nods and goes, I would really rather it not come to that.
Well, I mean, it'll be a fair fight, I suppose. So do your best. But I'm sure there'll be time between when that happens and when you get the planet to print new mechs if need be.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, is there even a point in fighting if that's the case? We could just let them escort us.
I mean...
But why would we avoid the fighting? It's the best part.
I don't think... It's not... knowing our main characters, that's not an option.
Yeah, no, they gotta make it look like they're bounty hunting you as part of the act. So they have to attack you.
Mm-hmm. It's very likely that my mech will just explode.
There's a high probability that Brent's mech will explode.
But it might not. You might win. Who knows? We might beat them.
You might win.
We're all capable pilots who are very good at our jobs.
Quinn speaks up, says there is another thing. I read the email because Kovan and Kova was throwing the Ashai terms that Dad doesn't know. There's an assassination attempt going to be made on his ex-fiance's life on that planet that we...
Yeah, that's more important than me.
Yeah.
Straight up. Like,
so
if you get rid of that and I'm still whatever, you take care of it.
The thing, the supplies that we're carrying actually have people hidden in them that are going to be landing on this planet, backing up people who are already on this planet and keeping Bryn's ex-fiance from getting assassinated.
Yeah.
But also, I might get there first. So who knows what happened?
Sylvia just raises her hand and goes like, so just for context here, are they planning to attack us in space or planet side?
Space.
It'll be in transit, I'm sure.
God, yeah. I hope it's in space. It's been so long.
In that case, I'm bringing the Queen Grace.
Yeah, everyone pack Ava modules if you don't have them. You won't need them on planet, but
The Quinn looks at the fourth wall and says, did you know that when Jenner runs space combat missions, physics are a thing? So be mindful of that. That when Fafnir runs one, it will be rule of cool. But when Jenner runs it, if you get hit by force, you're going to get propelled out into space. So maybe think about that. And then she stares away from the fourth wall and looks back at the players as if nothing happened.
All right, Jenna, you're going to have to do the exact math on every hit, though.
Fuck you. No.
Anyway, so let's jump to that. To the Aetolith.
Yeah, so we get in the Aetolith and Quinn's like, Isadora, do we warn the Aetolith crew that this shit is coming?
Oh, absolutely. And also, I'm the pilot of the ship, so like, I know already.
Yeah, so we inform the entire Adalith crew. The Nimish that are guarding the flavor town, they say we need about these numbers. We can't follow you and keep you safe. We'll stay here and
That's
keep.
fine. Feel free to use the station while we're gone. Don't worry about it.
Oh, thank you so much, says Gunner, and like they give you a high five and they say,
Just if you want, just patch some of those holes.
Oh
that,
yeah.
We still haven't got around to fix yet.
But by the time you come back, it'll be spick and span.
Wonderful.
We might like tinker with the weed. Okay.
Yeah, go nuts. What's ours is yours.
Mm-hmm. They're happy. Yeah, they'll do that. All right. So yeah, I guess we'll do this and then we'll do level up. So yeah, you get in the Adalith and you start making transit. Next session when we open up, this is basically what happens. The Adalith gets like the entire engine just gets shot out of the fucking Adalith in one shot. From a ship you can't even.
You're an old man swearing as that happens.
You can't even fucking see the ship. Remember, I told you, Nimitz ships have cloaking device that make them blend in with space.
Is it like, did they especially like disable and not destroy?
They
like
just
they're really surgical about it.
Yeah, they surgically sever the engine from the rest of the ships. The engine still works if you can reconnect it, but it would take a couple hours minimum to reconnect the engine to the ship. Meanwhile, you've just completely stalled out in space.
Okay.
Then a laser fires out and finally the ship is visible and it cuts a hole in the Adalith, and then I guess like a suction cup thing fires out of the ship and just rips that panel off the Adalith and flings it out into space. And
I think at that point, like when the ship violently shook,
we're all airlocked and dead.
No, yeah. when the ship violently shook, and we're like, yeah, let's just get in our mechs right now before.
Yeah. Yeah.
We knew this was going to happen.
I think I think we would go out before they would blow a hole in the ship.
Yeah, well, you like, yeah. Okay, good. Like you leave, like you see them charging up the laser, and like they'll hail you and let you know if you don't come out, we'll carve you out. Yeah, so you just go out to meet them in space, and that's what we'll begin. Next session is literally in media res combat.
Well, it's not in media res if we already walked up to it.
Yep. As you're getting ambushed, and just so you know, the main characters go first. They have that move, so they get the first turn. So that's what we'll start next session. So how did everybody level up?
All right, so I guess I'll start since I hinted towards things. So I brought Spot up to a +6. I brought Spotter up to its 3rd level, so that's as a quick action. When you lock on, you may nominate an allied character adjacent to you. They immediately make any quick action as a reaction, consuming your target's lock-on condition. So that one, that generous bond of.
Yep, we both have it now.
All right, and then I also took another point in systems, which means both agility and systems are now at a 6. So overall, that's 6 E defense, 6 tech attack, and 3 SP. And then lastly, I took the 3rd level in Morning Cloak, both of which both things I get from rank 3 are actually pretty good. I got the Variable Sword, 2 threat, 3 kinetic, deals 1d6 bonus damage on crit, and it's accurate. Just a pretty cool sword that's actually fairly usable on my stuff.
Nice.
And then the Fade Cloak. When activated, you immediately move out of phase with real space, becoming intangible. While intangible, you may move through obstructions, but not end your turn within them. You cannot interact with any other object or character or be interacted with in any way. And then roll a 1d6 at the start of each of your turns. On a 3 or less, you return to real space until the start of your next turn. On a 4+, you remain intangible.
Can you choose to become tangible again, or
yes,
is it like you're stuck there?
Quick action if you choose to deactivate it.
Okay.
So yeah, I can just remove myself from existence, walk across a battlefield, and just blip back in if I want. So kind of like I did last time, but more so.
Nice.
And most importantly, though, after the Edelweiss's pretty poor performance in our previous fight, one of Isidore's newest projects is the Edelweiss Mark II, which is the SSC Monarch. I'm finally using that frame.
Hell yeah.
So, the Monarch, if I didn't mention it before, is size 2, actually has an armor, so sort of one of the hardier mechs I can choose from. I can use the frame traits to either, on a critical hit with any ranged weapon, deal 3 explosive to a different character of my choice within 15. And also, seeking payload, I can use a launcher weapon to attack a character with a lock-on condition, as if the weapon had seeking, so against E defense. And when it does so, the attack's damage cannot be reduced in any way. And yeah, just as a quick overview of its stuff. Oh yeah, and also core system is I can choose any number of characters within range 50. They must all succeed in an agility save or take 1d6 plus 4 explosive damage. On a success, they take half damage, and they can reach any target as long as there is a path to do so. So in a fight, I can just launch missiles at everyone.
Love missiles.
I don't think any of us have ever really designed a map larger than 50, so I can just attack anybody in a freeze just close by as long as there's not a wall. And yeah, loadout, fuel rod gun, burst launcher, Sharanga missile, Gandaiva missile, got the NHP, but that's technically on a different mech, so I don't use that. Flicker shield projector, singularity motivator, lotus projector, personalizations, custom paint job, stun crown, fade cloak, and an Eva module. So yeah, I have spec'd this thing out to just run across a battlefield and shoot.
Nice. I'll go next. Is not that much.
Mm-hmm.
I just grabbed a SSC frame because I'm working towards a core bonus. I did nothing in using from it. I got a point and hull, and I grabbed Spaceborne for my skill. Couldn't think of anything else, so I don't need every module. I just have one always. That's it. Nothing else has changed.
Nice.
I took the last pips and blow something up.
Nice.
So that's fun.
Yep. I guess I'll go next. I took the 3rd rank in Barbarossa because fuck you. I leveled up systems. I now have a systems of 2 because Quinn's gonna be hacking more. I guess. Shh, don't tell anybody. I also, I've got Max Combined Arms, Max Tactician, Max Spotter, Max Skirmisher. I decided I'm going to put that point in Walking Armory. It's time to shoot things better. I think, that's basically all that's been going on with Quinn. She put her...
I have something else. You know what else leveled up? CompCon.
Yeah.
It's way better now.
Yeah.
The fucking combat shit fucking rules in this thing.
Oh my god. I haven't checked out the
Eat shit, D&D Beyond.
Yeah, I haven't checked out the GM session runner yet. Hopefully that's also pretty good. But yeah, the single person combat simulator is really good now. Everything you need to know is by the actual tabs and whatnot, and it's so helpful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I also in my level up I put the point in investigate. So Quinn is getting really good at Wikipedia binging and learning all sorts of irrelevant trivia and nonsense in the archives.
Yeah, fucking literal history fucking professor about Earth shit.
Yeah,
it does not matter in this fucking setting at all.
I mean, it matters, but also no. Now Quinn can tell Kovanen so much dumb bullshit about I don't know whatever. I'll just hit the random article button on Wikipedia and tell my internet girl, my virtual girlfriend who's a real girl, millions of light years across the galaxy from me, about whatever has come up on Wikipedia that I now know about. Oh, it's the Wikipedia for chairs. Just tell my girlfriend about chairs for the next hour.
The Sonic the Hedgehog can really move, and he's got an attitude.
Have you heard about this other hedgehog named Shadow?
No. He's a cooler edge. They gave him a gun
and roller skates,
and he's also a priest.
Did you know one time Sonic just kissed a human woman in the game? Just a straight up human.
We've been over this.
This
is no longer canon as of Vatican III.
I like they use the Roman numeral systems, so we're on like Vatican VII.
Well, it was Vatican III in the U.S., but Vatican VI in Japan.
Look.
I know. And Bryn doesn't use the match. Like, Bryn, you could totally use the matchmaker to call Covenant and fuck with her. Dad, bond with my girlfriend. I'm going to bed.
Are you winning, Covenant?
Yeah, that's what he does in the door when you're having your, like, fucking E-date or whatever. And you're yelling about, like, fucking whatever game you're playing.
Yeah. Covenant, stop invading me in the forest. How did you know where to get the wood grain ring? I hate this.
Alright, we're getting sidetracked. Who's leveling up next?
Yeah, I finished my level
I'll
up.
do it. I'll do it.
Go ahead. Sorry.
It's my fault on this one.
So at LL10, couple of things changed. Sylvia has officially taken, I think, Assault was my skill trigger level up, so I just have +6 in that now. In terms of my actual tactical level up, a bunch of stuff changed, but not by much. I actually took away a point of hull. And on this level up, I took 2 points in engineering because it turns out at this stage of the game, having 4 heat cap is too much of a liability if literally anyone on the enemy squad either messes with heat or hacks. So, yeah, Sylvia can now take 3 hits before her reactor core explodes instead of 2, as we saw previously. I also leveled up. Let's see, what did I take the last thing? And I took the last talent in Combined Arms. So Sylvia can now use gun and also sword. Which is appropriate because my license for this level up was the Harrison Armory Angus. Which she immediately stuck both things from on the Queen Grace. And what license level 1 for that gives you is Explosive Vents, which is a system that just says, when you clear all heat or take stress damage, your mech's cooling vents open and unleash a burst 1 explosion. Characters in the affected area just take 2 heat and 2 burn. It only happens once around, but it does happen. So
and you're never next to us anyways, so it's
heat,
fine.
I can in fact just nuke people.
Yeah, you're never adjacent to us usually, so like it's fine. It will only affect
my usual role on the battlefield is, what is the angriest, shootiest thing that we don't want shooting at us? I'm gonna go engage it.
So that reminds me, it hasn't actually come up yet because it has not ever been relevant. But my big gun, when I'm in the danger zone, I blast it. There's like a backburst on it. That makes a cone of like just fire. Fortunately, it has not come up yet, but it may in the future.
It might when you use
standing behind Bryn when firing the solid.
Yeah, it just does burn damage and heat.
And just so you know, like when you're out in space in a combat session where Jenner is applying physics arbitrarily, a gout of flame bursting out of the back of your gun is probably going to shoot you forward in space.
Well, no, see, the laser goes forward, the burst goes back, so I stay in the same spot. It's a counterbalance to it.
Absolutely, that's absolutely how it works.
Only when I'm in the danger zone. Before that, it's gonna blast me backwards.
Yep.
I feel the fact that I took a mech system specifically that allows me to cable myself to the ground is going to be very relevant.
Yeah, it's going to be very useful. Yeah.
Especially because Sylvia has decided to expand her shotgun collection, because I also now have the Krakatoa Thermobaric Flamethrower.
Hell yeah.
A weapon that deals 4 burn on a hit, hits in a cone 5 area, and for some reason does not have a heat cost associated.
Nice.
You can just set fools on fire. Not as much as Bryn can, but now I can do it.
Yeah, I do a ridiculous amount of burn damage.
Yeah,
I do about the max
I
burn
cannot
damage.
do anywhere near Tachyon levels of burn.
I basically picked the way to do the most burn damage in the game, so like it's understandable.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, I think I am never going to compare to that, but I can 100% now say, oh, were you all standing together? Everyone in this group have 4 burn. Fuck you.
All right, is that everybody leveled up?
Well, Vanguard. Yeah,
Alice
that's
Oh yeah, Alice, level up, please.
We're lights level 10, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, mine's incredibly unexciting. I got a point in agility, and also I got brutal, so that if I get a nat 20, I get the absolute full amount of damage I can do.
Mm-hmm. What I guess Mac license did you pick up?
I grabbed the second one for Sherman.
Okay.
Yeah, just in case I ever want to use that and draw my rifle.
Sounds good. All right, I guess that ends this session. Next week, I will be running a combat mission. It's going to be in space. I'm going to find a map of in space. And it's going to be, well, it's going to be hot bullshit for exactly one of you.
It may be a very short combat.
Yeah.
We'll see if Jenner can come through or not on this one.
It's really gonna be down to the dice. If the dice don't cooperate with me, you could win. So yeah, maybe I just roll nothing but ones nonstop. We don't know.
Who knows?
All right.
I don't know.
Thank you, everybody. I'll get this up and ready as soon as I can, and I'll see ya everybody next week. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.